So I'm going to go indoors and just leave this for about an hour, and we'll see how much power we gain in an hour using this ridiculously big solar power unit. So I just hear the unit kick in, the fan kick on. In principle, this will power a deep freeze. Wow, it's really powered up considerably. So now it's showing a 1400 watt output. Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com. It's fall 2024, and in the fall we have something here we call storm season. We get tropical storms and even sometimes hurricanes or after effects of hurricanes, and it's very typical to lose power, especially where I live. I live in a sort of rural area. Not only in the fall, but in the winter too, because we get heavy snowfalls. It brings down trees, that brings down power lines, all that sort of stuff. And we can go through extended periods without power. Most of the people on my street have electric, gas-powered power generators. For some reason, I've always resisted the urge to buy one. When the power goes out, we just, the night before, we fill up the tubs and we find the flashlights and we power up the radios, and we just have we pretend like it's the olden days when the power goes out. We have a wood stove, so we have a way to heat the house if in the winter, if there's no electricity, all that sort of stuff. But I have played with the idea of getting a power station, a large power bank, because one of the main concerns I have when we lose power is if my deep freeze is going to thaw out and all the produce. I have an enormous garden and put a lot of things in the deep freeze for the winter, and what if that thawed out and I lost all of that food, and not just the food, but the effort I put into growing it and preserving it. So I was sent one of these power stations from Allpowers. We're going to open this up. They sent me a large power station. I think it's 1800 watts. They said it should be able to run a refrigerator or a deep freeze. We're going to try that out. Try it on a few other things, I guess, as well. I mean, the power goes out for extended days. We play cards and we read books and stuff like that, but boy, it wouldn't be bad one evening to turn on the TV and just watch a movie or something, right? To calm everybody down. They also sent me a large charging solar panel that they say will charge in about 4 hours if you got good sun like right now. Anyway, let's open this up and see what we're looking at here. Okay, so on the top here, it's got a wireless charging. You just put your smartphone there, I guess, or whatever device you have that can interface with that. Here we got USB-A, USB-C, 2 ports of each. Down here we got our AC units, 4 ports for 120 volts. I did a double check. I mean, I'm on a well here. I was hoping maybe this could run my my pump, but my pump for my well is 230 volts. So it goes on a different, this doesn't have that output. So I would be without water. We usually fill up the tubs and fill up the, we fill up the tub and fill up large containers of water if we really think there's a bad storm coming. So that shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, if there's a bad storm coming, I guess we've got rain too, right? And we got 4 of these, and what we would in the olden days we'd call a cigarette lighter. Okay. I don't know if this has got any juice in it. There we go. All right, so it's saying it's got 74% power at this time. I guess that's the main, I didn't read the manual or anything. Okay. And this unit here, and we're going to test it out. We're going to try to run a few things with it. But I've got a affiliate link and a coupon code. I'll put those up on the screen. I'll also put them in the description box of the video, so that if you're interested after all these little, little trial runs we do with this thing, you can order one of these. I mean, this is roughly the same price as a cheap gas-powered generator. I just looked online this morning and the price was $500. It was marked down from some other thing, but I don't know if that was Canadian or American. I think the coupon code gives 10% off for Canadians or Americans, 5% off if you're in the UK. But You know, I'm sure the price of this might change over time, so I'm reluctant to list the price or, you know, guarantee a price. But I looked today and the price was $500 marked down from, you know, $100 more, a couple $100 more. So I don't know what the price is going to be tomorrow or next week or an hour from now, so don't quote me on the price. Okay, but doing a quick look around, if you look at gas power generators and this is about the same price as a cheap gas power generator. Gas power generator has a lot more watts for output, but of course if it runs out of gas, it's out. And if power goes out really bad here and the roads are all shut down because there's a storm, you might not be able to get to the gas station. You can only store so much gas because gas doesn't really keep. You know, you can put fuel stabilizer in gasoline, make it last longer. But anyway, I mean, gas generators have their own bonus pluses and minuses, let's put it that way. But generally speaking, this is about the price of a cheap gas generator, and it should be able to run many of the things in the house, not everything, of course. It seems like it's got an on button here. I guess that's if you want to power this subunit. And it's got another button here, which as far as I can tell is for powering these AC units. That's why it's attached to this. And of course you got your 12 volt here if you need 12 volts for anything. Now it seems pretty versatile. I don't know if there's any other ports or anything. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here we got a input port. So, you know, the forecast said there's going to be a huge storm tomorrow, that sort of thing. We can plug this thing into the wall and charge it. Right? It comes with a cord somewhere you can use to charge it. That's the fastest way to charge it up. It's got an overload protector. The thing can just, you know, you can reset it pressing that button there, I guess. And it also has this input for the solar unit. You know, if you're getting an extended power outage and you've drained this, you run this thing down, you can charge it up using the sun. This is also a great unit if you've got some sort of off-grid camp or that sort of thing, because as long as you've got the solar panel and this, you've got electricity for whatever you need it for, right? Running lights or, you know, whatever devices, you know, people in your family are interested in. What's this over here? It says expand battery port 01, expand battery port 02. I don't know what that is, honestly. If you do, it's got that too. Let's have a look at the solar unit. All right, so the solar unit is big. The bigger the better. And I guess this is like having an infinite source of your own gasoline from a certain point of view, right? Because the energy is up in the sky. I mean, what I like about this power cell and solar unit is that I don't have to drive to the gas station to get gas to run it. Right? I'm kind of self-contained, self-sufficient. Holy moly, this thing is enormous. Oh, I see it goes that way. Okay, I see. All right, so you set it up like this, angled towards the sun, I guess. I mean, this is an enormous. What is this? Really long. Right, this is an enormous. It's got these things on the back that prop it up. You just pop out. But this is an enormous solar panel. All right, so I've got the solar charging unit all set up in the driveway. You can see how these things just tuck in and velcro onto the back. So you just pull them back. You've got a little adjustment strap here, but they're all designed to just prop the thing up. Right, probably not. You'd probably have to secure this in some way on a windy day, right? Or just lay it flat on the ground, I guess. But it's going to get better sun, better performance angled toward the sun. Right, this time of year, the sun isn't directly overhead, it's on an angle. So this is facing south right now, right? Because the sun this time of year kind of rises somewhere, you know, rises in the east and sets in the west, but it spends most of the day angled to the south. Anyway, let's plug this thing in and see what it does. All right, so the idea is that these two things connect to these two things. I'm holding the camera with one hand here, so I can't do this. I need my other hand. These plug in here, and this part goes in there. So I'm just going to look at the monitor when I plug this in and see what it does. Okay, so that's the screen saying right now. Hopefully that you can see that. I'm going to plug it in and we'll see what it does. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. What am I missing here? It's plugged in. Oh, there. We got movement. See how it's circling? It's telling you the input. It's saying, I don't know if I got too much shadow here. It's saying there's a 156 watt input, no output, and it's saying the power is at 74%. Okay, so I'm going to go indoors and have lunch and just leave this for about an hour, and we'll see how much battery and how much power we gain, storage we gain in an hour using this ridiculously big solar power unit, this charging unit. Actually, I can hear this thing has kicked in a fan. I don't know if you can hear that. So yeah, it is already, the fan started, probably because it's sunny outside. Maybe it's getting hot from the sun, I don't know. Well, so look, it's already got to 75. We've gained 1%. Yippee. Anyway, I'm going to leave this for an hour and see how much power we can gain. Okay, so it's been about an hour and it says it's 98% charged, and we were at 75 before. That's about 25% in 1 hour, so I guess in 4 hours this massive solar charging unit will charge this power bank. So I'm good. I think this totally works. Proof of concept of this thing. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. It is huge. Each one of these is almost 2 feet wide, so that's about 10 feet wide. 10 feet by about 3.5 feet. 10 by 3. That's a big solar panel. Alright, so the only thing left to do now is to take her inside and try it out. Alright, here I am in the old utility room. Got the deep freeze unit. You see the lights on. It's plugged into the wall. So I'm going to activate one of these 120s. Plug it in. See what happens. Okay. Lights off. Now I'm going to plug it in. Lights on. I just hear the unit kick in, the fan kick on, and it's running. So, in principle, this will power a deep freeze, just like, I mean, I emailed them and I said, do you think this will power my deep freeze? And they said, yes. So, I think it will work. I don't know for how long, and you know, maybe I can put something up on the screen. Oh, here it says, look at that now. It says 9 hours remaining. So in principle, it'll run this for 9 hours. But that's at the current draw, right? A freezer doesn't draw constantly, it draws at different rates. I guess it's also the case that as long as you have enough sun outside, you can keep recharging this to keep the freezer cool, right? As long as you've got sun, you can recharge this unit, right? So, you know, if it was overcast and raining day after day after day, yeah, it would get drawn down, but you know, eventually you're going to get some sun, right? And even some light is light. It's just not, you know, if there's not perfect light, like today was a very, very clear sky, sunny day, so it charged as advertised, sort of thing, right? it charged a quarter of the capacity in 1 hour. But let's say you had an overcast day. There's still light. It's just not going to charge as effectively. It might only do 5 or 10%. Anyway, in principle, again, you can keep, you know, your energy source is the sun with this, right? And this stores that energy. So as long as you got sun, you can keep it going. Anyway, I think this is a perfectly fine way to keep the freezer going. Let's try on a few other things. So it'll power a freezer, but will it do something important like run the television and the PlayStation and all that other stuff? Let's just plug this in to see if it... I just heard the TV make a sound. Yeah, see the TV's coming on. And there's some show on CBC, Canadian television. Yeah, so that's... TV totally works. All right, let's try something else. Aha, here's a good test. Will it run a kettle? No. Let's find out. Hard to do this with one hand, but we'll plug that in. There we go. And wow, it's really powered up considerably. So now it's showing a 1400 watt output. It says that I can only do this for 40 minutes. So I would not recommend boiling water using this unit because apparently it has an incredible power requirement. So I'm going to unplug it because I don't think this is in a power outage. We just use propane. We have a little propane stove like for camping, and we use that for cooking. But you can hear the kettle's going. It's starting to make that kettle sound. But we're already down to 93%. So yeah, it's working. But this would not be a smart way to use one of these things, I don't think. So I'm going to shut that up and unplug that. Now you can see the numbers changing. There, I went from saying it was going to work for 40 minutes to saying it's now good for 12 days. All right, so yeah, not a good thing. We'll run a kettle just to get a sense. A kettle takes an incredible draw, right? So just as a way of testing, can it run a kettle? Yeah, it can, but you know, because it says 1800 watt output, and I think the kettle had about a 1400 watt draw. So I mean, proof of concept, it will work. But if you're running anything that's got a high draw like that, it's going to run it down fast. Freezer, refrigerator. I tested the freezer. The refrigerator, as far as I understand, has a similar draw, so I'm not going to bother pulling out and plugging it in. And it doesn't have a light that comes on. I mean, I guess it's got the interior refrigerator light, but the manufacturers ensured me it would run a refrigerator, so I'm not worried about that. Generally speaking, in a power outage, we don't worry about the refrigerator because most of the thing in like everything that's really important, like in the freezer, we take everything out of the freezer part of the refrigerator, stick it all in the freezer downstairs, and lock that up and just leave it closed. Do not open your deep freeze during a power outage. It should be good for days. But anyway, it would work. And if you had like lots of sunny days and you could recharge the power unit, yes, you could plug it into your fridge every day for a few hours just to recold the fridge. Anyway, I'm perfectly happy with this for what I want. A way to keep my freezer frozen during, you know, a multi-day power outage if that comes up, or to basically run anything in the house that I want to run, knowing that I can recharge it using the solar panel as needed, assuming there's sun. I think this is a great option for a homeowner that doesn't want to go the full, you know, to get into having gas-powered generators. It's smaller, it's lighter, it's quiet, it's clean. I don't got to worry about, you know, keeping X amount of fuel around, putting fuel stabilizer in it, wondering if the fuel's going bad, all that sort of stuff. Much more easy and intuitive to run, all that sort of stuff. no carbon dioxide, etc., etc. Sure, a big generator, all kinds of gasoline, will run your whole house and can basically keep everything going. But if you, what we normally do when there's a power outage is we just play cards, read books, take it easy, right? So I think if you're a little bit more low-key like that, this is a great way to just have some extra electricity around and a way to renew it with the solar panel, that sort of thing. Also handy for, I guess, a person in an apartment building where if you had a power outage and you wanted to use your laptop, run the watch movies, do things like that just to keep from getting too bored, assuming you get tired of reading books and that sort of thing, right? So I think it'd be good for that too. But yeah, I think this is great for anyone from someone living in an apartment, I guess you could charge it on the balcony, to a homeowner in a suburb, to someone doing a totally off-grid sort of thing. And of course, as far as I recall, I think Allpowers has bigger and more powerful units. This is one of the lower level units in terms of like the wattage and the output and how much power it stores and that sort of thing. You can spend more and get more. They've got all those kinds of options. And if you use the link that's up on the screen and the coupon code that I provide, also those will be in the description box of this video, you'll get 10% off if you were in US or Canada, United States or Canada, and 5% off in the UK. So give that a shot. If you're interested in this, give it a try. I'm going to be using it over the next few years. I'm not looking forward to the next power outage, but I'm going to be using it as needed. And when I do, I'll turn the GoPro on and capture what I'm doing and follow up using it. Hopefully I won't need this, right? But if I do, I've got it. I suppose if we could throw a big party in the backyard, this could run the stereo system and all that sort of stuff too, right? But anyway, I hope you found this interesting. If you do, please like, share, subscribe. Check out Allpowers' website, the products they sell. Until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.